Good morning, children. So, we are here with the chapter Animals, Form and Movement. Let's continue. We have discussed about the skull, the rib cage, the vertebral column, as well as the pectoral girdle. Today, we'll be discussing about the pelvis and the femur. So, now let's come to the pelvic bones. You can see here in the figure, there are three bones that make up the pelvis region. You have the ilium, the ischium, and the pubis. The names you need not remember. But there are three bones, okay, which is on one side, again, three bones on the other side. In between, you have the sacrum, which is, remember, the lower part of the rib cage, right? And then the coccyx region, right? So, this constitutes the hip bone, and here you can see a notch like structure into which the head of the femur is going to come and attach. The pelvic girdle helps in attaching the lower limbs of our body, and it has another major function of protecting our kidneys. Okay, kidney and the bladder is protected in this pelvic girdle. Now let us see the limb bones. We have the femur, which is the bones of the thigh, and this is the longest bone in our body. You can see the head of the femur here, and this head of the femur attaches to the socket that I showed you in the pelvic girdle, right? Then this on the lower side, in the lower leg, you have two bones again, the tibia and the fibula. Tibia is a strong bone, reaches till the end, and then fibula is the narrow bone. It's very thin. Then these two bones are attached to the femur at this knee joint, and there is a small kneecap or the patella. Then on the lower side, you have around in the ankle region, you are having the tarsals. Then on the foot region, you have metatarsals, and then the phalanges are present. Now, all these bones that we saw, and we also saw the different joints that were present when these bones come together. So now we're going to discuss about the different types of joints. So what is a joint? First, we need to know it's a connection between two bones in the skeletal system, because we know that the skeletal system is made up of around 206 bones, right? So they all have to be attached. The places where they are attached to different structures are termed as joints. Four major types of joints we have: the ball and socket joint, which is present in between the girdles and the limb bones. Like between the pelvic girdle and your femur, you have a ball and socket joint. Then between your pectoral girdle and the humerus, there is a ball and socket joint, which gives maximum freedom of movement. In the neck region, between the first two vertebrae, we have the pivot joint, right? And this pivot joint helps in moving your head flexibly to different corners. Then elbow region and the knee, these two places you have the hinge joint as well as in the phalanges, which give restricted movement. Okay, movement only in one direction. So that makes your hinge joint. Saddle joint, also termed as the gliding joint, is present between the metacarpals here, the carpals, the tarsals, right? In the ankle and the wrist region, you have the gliding joint. Also present in the backbone, in between the bones, you have the gliding joint, which gives the least freedom of movement. It's only that the bones glide over each other as we are moving. Okay. So now with this we come to the end of at least the bones and the joints. Next class we'll be discussing about the muscles.